Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan with Degenerate Passive Income. Tonight's video we're going to talk about Bitcoin, how I got into mining. We're going to talk about the price, how it's mined, and just give you a brief on what it's all about, explanation of what it's all about, and we'll get into a couple videos and showing my farm, two different farms, and hopefully you have get some better knowledge of how it's done. And your projected income. So let's get to the video, but before we do that, we need to touch on one thing. So I've heard from a couple people, just from around where I'm from, maybe it sounds like by showing, my Microsoft Excel sheet and the income stuff, it sounds like I'm bragging. I'm not bragging, people. If I can help one person out of all the views, however many I get, it doesn't matter. If I can help one person create some passive income and better their life, that's all that matters. I'm never going to compare myself to anyone, and neither should you. I mean, everyone has their own journey. This is mine, and I just want to take everyone on it with me. And it's fun, and I enjoy it. So let's get into the video. And after the two spots, we'll touch base, and I'll go over like costs and of what to run and stuff like that. So here it is. Okay guys, here is a house that we bought for $2,401 at a sheriff's sale here. And we haven't had time to fix it up. I'm busy with other stuff. It's been sitting empty for a while. So what do you do with a house that sits empty? Well, I'm going to show you. You can see it's pretty sketchy. It's got a dungeony basement. Here is where the magic happens. This is what we do here. We Bitcoin mine. So I've got one 3080 FE rig mining Bitcoin and 5 Antminer S19 Pros. All this stuff runs 24/7, 365. Each one of these machines pulls 15 amps of power. So right here, it's pulling 80 amps. Now this old house that was built in 1906 only has a 100 amp service. Well, code says you can only draw 80 amps out of a 100 amp service. So we can't use this for anything else. Which is fine because it makes 7 times more money than any renter ever would make you. So it really works out pretty good. And as you can hear, they're really noisy. And this is how much heat they put out. It's 85 degrees in the basement here. There's no heat in this house, and it's 12 below 0 Fahrenheit right now. So even upstairs, 2 more floors, it's a 3-story house, it's 72 degrees. That's how much heat these things put out. So don't go buying any of these machines thinking you're going to run it in your garage or your house, because they're noisy, they produce a lot of heat, and they're annoying. You can't be around them. And they cost a lot to run. You have to have cheap electricity. And that's what we're going to go over in this later in the video. Okay, here's our other. It was an old insurance building that we acquired at an estate sale that came with an apartment building here in northeast North Dakota that we bought. It just kind of came with the package. We got a good deal on it, so we were going to fix it up into apartments. but we didn't have time, so we decided to do something else. So here, I've got 6 S19 Pros mining Bitcoin 24/7. Why? Instead of renting it? Because it pays about 6 times more than what office rental and an apartment rental would be. So it makes sense. And also because it's cheap power here in eastern North Dakota. And we'll talk about that later in the video. Let's give you a quick tour of it. It's kind of a neat building, 1,800 square feet. It's got a big safe, which is kind of neat. A couple offices. And it came with all the office furniture, computers and phones and yeah. Yeah, there's the 6-amp miners. And there's my fan that I run wirelessly from my phone. It's an hour and a half away from home. Because as you can see, these things put off a lot of heat. It's 78 degrees in here, and this building has no heat. So it's heating, these 6-amp miner S19 Pros are heating this whole building with 10-foot ceilings in eastern North Dakota at 10 below, 20 below at night to 78 degrees. And it gets so hot that I have to have an intake fan going. Turns on for 15 minutes every hour because it got 105 here one time without it running. And I had to kick it on manually, so I just put it on a timer. Yeah, so there you go. Okay guys, there's my 2 mining farms. As you can see, it's, there's nothing pretty about them. Pretty doesn't make you money. An old house, an old insurance building, nothing fancy, wires everywhere. It is what it is. You can go watch videos on people with beautiful mining farms. Everything's nice and neat, and they're for videos. This is for the average person that, doesn't need anything fancy. It just needs to work, and it does. It works very well. The main thing is the power cost to run these things. Power cost, average power cost across the nation is about 10 cents. Where I live right now is 12.5 cents. But where my 2 mining farms are 6 cents a kilowatt, which one's 20 minutes away and one's an hour and a half away. But it's well worth it because, once they're on, you don't touch them. They just run and run and run and run. They continue to print you money every day. As long as Bitcoin's around, they're mining Bitcoin. As far as power, even at that 6 cents a kilowatt, it's still, to run those 12 machines, it's about $1,800 a month for the electricity. So if I wouldn't mine Bitcoin right now if you were over, say 12, 13 cents, because you have to make some money, and for the investment of the machines, the ROI just keeps going up. And at 6 cents, you can make some really good money and return your ROI is way quicker. So that's the main thing, the power cost. So between the power cost and the 2 internet connections you have to have, it costs me about $2,000 a month to run these machines. But those 12 machines make me $7,600 a month. So $5,600 minus the $2,000 is $5,600 a month clear profit by doing absolutely nothing. They just sit there and run, and you keep collecting money. It goes into your wallet every night at midnight. The Bitcoin is deposited in your wallet, and you hold it. I'm a holder. I'm a hodler. Hodl means hold on for dear life. Crypto's the wild, wild west. So I hold it in hopes Bitcoin's going to be, $68,000, $70,000 like it was, 8 months ago. Let's hope it does go that high. I know it's not going away. I mean, Bitcoin's huge. A little background on Bitcoin. It started in 2009 by a person or group named Satoshi Nakamoto. And no one's ever met him. No one knows if he even exists. Nobody knows who did it, who invented it. But anyways, the first transaction on the Bitcoin network was a guy bought 2 Papa John's pizzas January 9th of 2009, and he paid 10,000 Bitcoin for them, which was about $38 back then. Right now, 10,000 Bitcoin is $420 million. So let that sink in a little bit. It's kind of fun to think about. So at the end of the day, you have the cost of the machine, you have the expenses to run it. I mean, you can always, if you can't afford to pay the power bill every month, you can withdraw, say once a month, enough to cover your costs. If you just have 1 or 2 or a dozen like I have, cover your costs so you're not taking any out of pocket, and then hold the rest. I mean, you could cash it in now, still make money. You still make a lot of money. And then you don't have to take out of pocket to pay the electricity, the internet, because these are empty buildings. Nothing else can go in there. Eventually, I'm going to move the 6 miners out of that old house and going to put all into that insurance building on the second video. And I'm going to be maxed out on a 200 amp panel. And that's just what it's going to be used for. That is it. And it's going to be, I'm going to have to put more intake fans in, more exhaust fans, because it's going to be hot. And hopefully I won't get any noise ordinance violations, but it's a town of 300 people, and the closest building next to it's a bar, so it probably won't happen. So I just want everyone to know that, there's a cost of the machine, there's a cost to run it. There's no labor, just setting out. You set it, forget it, let them run. Internet connection, 240 volts to each machine. They draw 15 amps a piece. So, I mean, all 12 machines, when I put it in that old insurance building, will be drawing 160 amps out of a 200 amp service. So that's done. That is maxed out. After that, you just collect the money and let them run until Bitcoin's dead, which is never going to happen. So, I hope people kind of get a grasp of what it's all about and how you can get into this yourself if you have the right room for it, or maybe you have a garage that is detached. You could always have one of them in there. One of those will heat a garage all winter long, no matter how cold it is, which is nice. And it's a little noisy, but you need internet, you need 240 volt power and stuff like that. So don't go buying these things. I'm going to put one in my living room, or I'm going to put one in my bedroom or basement. You will hear it, and it will roast you out of the place. Just one of them. They're so noisy, 78 decibels a piece. And hot. I mean, they're so hot. So as long as everyone knows that and kind of gets a grasp of, what it's all about, I don't want to anybody going and investing in one and not knowing what they're getting into, because they can be miserable. They're annoying to listen to and give off so much heat, and it's just not ideal for a residential space unless you have a detached building with the right setup. So that's my farm, and that's how I got into it, and I've been doing it now for 8 months. So I'm coming up on my ROI, which will be nice. And I hope you guys liked it. If you liked the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos, and we'll see you in the next one.